You ate something today. Maybe you barely thought about it. Maybe you grabbed food between tasks, chewed a few times, swallowed, moved on. Normal, human, easy. But what if chewing was the weird thing? What if the animal kingdom looked at your mouth, at your grinding, crushing, slow, deliberate chewing, and saw an evolutionary dead end? A costly, clumsy system that burns energy you do not need to burn. What if the real power move, the thing that built the most ruthless predators on this planet, was simply this: swallow everything, whole, alive or dead, bones and all? Most people assume these animals just cannot be bothered. That swallowing whole is a kind of lazy shortcut. But that is not quite right. The truth is something stranger, something that reveals a survival strategy so efficient, so brutally optimized, that it makes our way of eating look like a design flaw. And by the end of this, you are going to look at your next meal very differently, because the force that built these creatures is the same force that built you. Stay till the end. The last part is the part that is going to stick. Let us start with the obvious question. Why not just chew? You have 28 teeth, maybe 32 if your wisdom teeth came in, and you use them constantly. Every bite you take sends those teeth grinding against each other, pulverizing food into a soft paste, mixing it with saliva, preparing it for digestion. You were taught this was efficient. You were told to chew thoroughly. There was actually a man named Horace Fletcher, a Victorian-era health guru who became so obsessed with chewing that he told the world to chew every single bite 32 times before swallowing. He became known as the Great Masticator. His motto was that nature would punish those who did not masticate. Nature had a different opinion, because chewing is not free. It costs energy. It costs time. And in the wild, time and energy are the two currencies that determine whether you live or die. Now picture a python in the wild. Not the one in the zoo, curled up behind a glass. The real one. The one that has not eaten in 4 months. The one sitting motionless in the undergrowth, waiting. Its heart rate is slower than yours when you sleep. Its organs have actually shrunk down to save fuel. Its intestines, its liver, its stomach have all pulled back, gone quiet, like a factory that has switched off the lights. It has been running on fumes, and it is waiting for one thing. Then the moment comes. A deer walks too close. The python strikes, wraps, squeezes, and then it begins the swallow. This is where everything changes. The python does not have teeth designed for chewing. What it has instead is 6 rows of backward curving teeth, like tiny hooks, that grip the prey and prevent any chance of escape. And its jaw, this is the part that sounds like it should be impossible. Its jaw does not dislocate the way people always say in documentaries. That is a myth. What actually happens is even more remarkable. The two halves of the lower jaw are not fused together. They are connected by a stretchy ligament, like a bungee cord. Each side can move completely independently. The skull itself is made of smaller bones connected by elastic joints, so the snake does not open its mouth wide and push the prey in. It walks its face around the prey. One side grips and pulls. Then, the other side grips and pulls. Slowly, millimeter by millimeter, the animal disappears. A python can swallow something larger than its own head, and sometimes heavier than half its own body weight. And here is where the real story begins. Once that prey is inside, the python does something no mammal can do. It rebuilds itself. Scientists at the University of Alabama published research on Burmese pythons showing that within just 72 hours of a meal, the snake's organs expand to almost double their original size. The heart grows, the intestines grow, the liver expands. The digestive system switches from almost nothing to full industrial capacity almost overnight. And the metabolism, the rate at which the body burns energy, spikes between 10 and 44 times its resting level. 44 times. Think about what that means. Imagine your body running 44 times faster than normal for days just to process a single meal. Your own metabolism spikes maybe 3 to 4 times during intense exercise. A python digesting a deer hits 11 times that rate. And then, once the meal is processed, in about 10 days, everything reverses. The organs shrink back down. The metabolism drops back to almost nothing. The factory goes dark again. This is not laziness. This is one of the most advanced energy management systems in the animal kingdom. Build up when you need it. Tear it down when you do not. Save every calorie you possibly can. So why swallow whole instead of chewing first? Here is the core reason. Every extra step costs something. Chewing means your jaw muscles burn energy. It means you spend more time exposed in the open, vulnerable. It means your meal can cool down, dry out, or attract competitors. And for a predator built to eat rarely and hugely, all of that waste is catastrophic. Swallowing whole removes every one of those costs. The prey goes in, the acid does the work. And the acid these animals produce is extraordinary. A snake's stomach sits at a pH of about 1.5. For comparison, the acid in your stomach sits around 2. The snake's is nearly as corrosive as car battery acid. It does not just break down muscle and fat, it dissolves bone. It digests fur. It reduces an entire animal to liquid nutrition. Not in one session of chewing, but over days of slow, relentless chemical breakdown. It is not faster, but it is far more complete. And birds of prey do the same thing in their own way. An owl swallows a mouse whole. It digests the soft parts, and then a few hours later it regurgitates the rest, the bones and fur it cannot absorb, in a compact little pellet. No energy wasted on the indigestible, just cast it out and move on. Crocodiles take it even further. A crocodile can eat 23% of its own body weight in a single feeding. A 130-pound woman eating that proportion would need to finish a 30-pound meal in one sitting. And the crocodile's stomach acid is among the most powerful recorded in any vertebrate. It can dissolve bone with a speed that still surprises biologists, and once that meal is processed, the crocodile may not eat again for months. So what does this tell us? It tells us that chewing, the thing you do every day, the thing Fletcher insisted was the cornerstone of health, is actually a very specialized solution to a very specific problem. Eating frequently, eating small portions, eating varied and often complex foods. If you eat every few hours, chewing makes sense. Your digestive system stays warm and ready. Your body can handle the constant small inputs. But if you ate once every 4 months, chewing would be absurd. You would need a completely different system. One that could scale up from nothing to maximum power in 72 hours. One that could process an entire animal without wasting a single calorie on the process of preparing the food. Now here is the part worth sitting with. You and a python both inherited your body plan from the same deep past. You both share ancient chemistry, the same basic amino acids, the same evolutionary pressure to find food and not waste energy doing it. The difference is the niche you evolved for. Humans evolved to eat often in small amounts, using tools and community and fire to prepare food before it even reached our mouths. Cooking pre-digests food externally. Our teeth and jaws got smaller over time because we stopped needing them to do the heavy lifting. Modern humans barely chew compared to our ancestors. Research from Leiden University found that the human chewing system has been slowly optimized over hundreds of thousands of years to minimize the energy spent grinding food. We moved the work outside the body. The python moved it inside. Both strategies shaped entirely by the environment each animal was forced to survive in. And here is the thing that should quietly unsettle you. You have not really escaped this logic. You still live by it. Every choice you make about food, when to eat, how much to eat, what to eat, is being guided by systems that were built in environments that no longer exist. Your body still behaves like the food might run out. It still stores fat like it might not eat again for weeks. It still signals hunger before you are actually in danger. You are running ancient software on modern conditions. The python swallows whole because it evolved in a world where meals were rare and survival depended on total efficiency. You chew and cook and snack and process your food into soft, easy bites because you evolved in a world where cooperation and intelligence replaced pure physical brutality. But under all of that, the same ancient calculation is still running. Get the energy. Spend as little as possible getting it. Survive until the next chance. The predator staring at its prey across the grass and you scanning a menu on your phone are more alike than either of you would probably prefer to admit. Every body on this planet is a solution to the same problem. Stay alive long enough to matter. The python just took a slightly more dramatic route.